Hi, welcome to another Tryton video. We're here actually on location in the city of Buena Park and Knott's Berry Farm. We're here because this is one of my favorite places to hang out with my girlfriend. So today we're going to be talking to you a little bit about the Tryton story and how it all began. So stay tuned. So our story begins when me and my family immigrated from Mexico. We moved to the city of Paramount, where we grew up very poor. After that, we went to high school at Paramount High School. That's where I started getting into music. I started playing saxophone there in the band. After that, I went over to Long Beach City, where I started learning more about music and getting into more of the educational side of music. After that, through one of my connections to some of the bands that I used to play with and the Long Beach Junior Concert Band, I was able to get into the band at USC, where I did a lot of gigs there. I did a lot of performances with the band, doing like commercials, playing for video games, doing movie premieres, and all the cool stuff that the USC band does. So that's where a little bit of the history of my education and the beginning of my musical career started. So after college, I was trying to become a professional musician, which turned out to be really, really hard. But meanwhile, I had met some people in school, and those guys and I became partners. We tried to become real estate investors, and we learned as much as we could about real estate. That never really went anywhere, but it really taught us more about business than we have ever learned, coming from a music school. So a few months later, I had a bike in the backyard that my uncle was interested in, and he traded me for that bike for two of his. I really needed those bikes, so I put those bikes on Craigslist, and they sold within 15 minutes, and I was getting continuous calls all day long. So I was like, man, I should sell bikes. And then I run that idea by my mom. She goes, you should sell bikes. And then the same idea by my partner. So we all agreed that that's something that we should do because it was so so popular at the time. So then that was the beginning of my business, lable4Bikes. So a lot of times you see a lot of bicycle related products or the store in a lot of the music videos, and it's because the bike shop is really what has been funding all the music projects, have been paying for all the equipment, has given me really this record label, you could say, and I'm able to do all that I want with all the resources from the bike shop. So all the music videos have to make sense, and they have to be bike related because the bike shop is the one who's paying for this. So the way that I approach it is similar way that big businesses would put product placements in movies, where they for example, in the movies Mission Impossible, that's a big commercial for BMW, and they place them as product placement kind of hidden. So I kind of do the same thing. I kind of have that same idea, and I put my bike shop in all the music videos because the bike shop is the one paying for all the stuff. And that's why, as people ask me, why do you have all kinds of bike stuff in the music videos? And that's why. And this has given me the opportunity to be my own person, my own artist, and not worry about the financial stress that comes from being a poor musician. And I'm very thankful for that, and that's why I'm able to do a lot of this stuff. So the Tryton band started off as a cover band that I had in college, where I played a lot of piano. We did a bunch of covers, hip-hop covers all over town. We worked with bands like DW3. We had some gigs with the Soto band that play here around Southern California. Then after a while, after a lot of, let's just say, drama in the band, I decided to stop that and quit the band. But then a few years later, as I was doing more of the music production stuff, I decided to use that name as my solo artist name, and now that's where I get the name Tryton. The Tryton is actually an interval and used a lot in jazz and stuff, and it had a devil connotation to it back in history, and so I thought it was appropriate to use that as something kind of cool for a hip-hop band. And that's where the Tryton comes from. Well, thanks so much for watching. I hope you like this closer look to the inside of the Tryton brand, the lable4Bikes business. So please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and go over to our websites and buy a song. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
It ain't where I've been or where I'm about to go. I ain't there yet, but you already know. And I ask you if you're down to go. You say just be a beggar and show me the door.